Welcome back to the Cash Kicks channel for expert sports analysis, the best team picks, total picks, and in-depth breakdowns based on previous performances. Stay ahead of the game with our winning insights. And for even more exclusive parlay picks, check out Channel in membership. Chicago Bulls versus Brooklyn Nets. The Chicago Bulls arrive at 24-29, 11th in the East, trying to steady a season that has drifted below 500. The Nets stand at 14-37, 13th in the conference, searching for traction of their own. Chicago has already taken 2 of 3 in the season series, and with the margins razor thin in the lower half of the standings, this is more than a February game. It's positioning, pride, and proof. The numbers lean slightly toward Chicago, just over a 53% edge. But in a matchup between two teams fighting to redefine their trajectory, nothing comes easy. Chicago scores 117.0 points per game, shooting 47% from the field. They move the ball well, 29.4 assists a night, and control the glass with 45.0 rebounds. Defensively, they generate 7.3 steals and 5.0 blocks, though they surrender 120.5 points per game. It's a team that plays with pace, trusts its half-court creation, and leans into offensive rhythm. Brooklyn averages 107.3 points on 44% shooting. They distribute 25.4 assists per game and pull down 40.5 rebounds. Their defense produces 7.5 steals and 4.2 blocks, but they allow 114.9 points per contest. The Nets operate more deliberately, often dependent on individual shot-making, rather than sustained ball movement. Josh Giddey drives Chicago's engine. 18.6 points, 8.6 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game, shooting 46% overall and 36.6% from 3. Nikola Vucevic adds 16.9 points and 9.0 boards, anchoring the interior with 50.5% shooting. Kobe White chips in 18.6 points and 2.5 made threes per night, stretching the floor at 43.8% from deep. Brooklyn counters with Michael Porter Jr., pouring in 25.0 points per game on 47.4% shooting and 38.5% from 3, plus 85% at the line. Nick Claxton supplies 12.2 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks, protecting the rim at nearly 59% from the field. Cam Thomas contributes 15.6 points, adding another perimeter threat. The defining theme is clear: Chicago's ball movement and scoring balance versus Brooklyn's reliance on Porter's shot-making and Claxton's interior presence. One side thrives on orchestration, the other survives on bursts. Recent form sharpens the contrast. Chicago has dropped 4 of its last 5, losses to Denver, Toronto, Milwaukee, and Miami, with just 1 win in that stretch. Defensive lapses have cost them late, conceding 115 or more in 4 of those games. Offensive output remains steady, but stops have been scarce. Brooklyn is 3-2 in its last 5. Wins over Washington, Detroit, and Utah show flashes of composure, though losses to Orlando and the Lakers reveal inconsistency. They've cracked 118 points twice in that span, suggesting improved offensive flow at home. At the center of it all stands the duel: Giddey versus Porter Jr. Giddey plays with poise and vision, nearly averaging a triple-double. He dictates tempo, probes the lane, and finds shooters in rhythm. Porter is pure scoring gravity, quick release, confident pull-ups, and relentless shot hunting. Efficiency favors Porter in raw scoring, but Giddey controls more possessions. One bends the game through orchestration, the other through momentum. Tactically, Chicago's edge lies in spacing and rebounding. Their 45 boards per game should test Brooklyn's interior depth, especially if Vucevic draws Claxton away from the rim. The Bulls' assist rate hints at sustained offensive flow, but turnovers and defensive rotations must tighten to offset their 120.5 points allowed. Brooklyn's path is pressure and pace control. If Claxton protects the paint and the Nets convert steals into transition chances, they can slow Chicago's rhythm. Porter's shooting efficiency is the X factor. If he climbs past 40% from three, Brooklyn's offense stretches dramatically. Bench production and late-game shot selection loom large for both sides, particularly given Chicago's recent fourth-quarter struggles. Expect a competitive first half. Expect runs. But over 48 minutes, the numbers suggest Chicago's balance wins out. Their scoring depth and rebounding advantage should tilt extra possessions their way. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Chicago Bulls winner. Chicago's offensive structure and glass control create just enough separation, steadying their slide and reinforcing the belief that when their ball movement hums, they can dictate the terms. My second pick for this match is total over 220.5. Milwaukee Bucks versus Orlando Magic. The stakes are rising in the Eastern Conference as Milwaukee walks into Orlando with urgency. The Bucks sit at 21-29, 12th in the East, and 9-17 on the road, trying to claw back into relevance. The Magic, 27-24 and 7th in the conference with a strong 16-8 home mark, are defending position and chasing stability in a crowded playoff race. Orlando has won 3 straight at home and enters with a 69.1% edge in projected win probability. For Milwaukee, this is about survival. For Orlando, it's about separation. Milwaukee averages 112.0 points per game on 48% shooting, but they're allowing 115.7. Orlando scores 115.1 per night, while giving up 115.5, shooting 46% from the floor. The margins are thin, and that's where this game will live. Milwaukee's offensive engine remains Giannis Antetokounmpo, 28.0 points, 10.0 rebounds, 5.6 assists, shooting 64.5% from the field and 65.8% at the line. Kevin Porter Jr. adds 17.1 points with 44.9% shooting and 33% from deep. Ryan Rollins contributes 16.9 points and 5.5 assists, spacing the floor at 40.8% from three. As a team, the Bucks shoot 39.5% from three and 79.7% at the stripe, dish 26.4 assists, grab 41.0 rebounds, and commit 13.7 turnovers per game. Orlando counters with balance. Paolo Banchero leads with 21.7 points and 8.5 rebounds, shooting 46.0% overall. Franz Wagner scores 22.2 per game on 48.2% shooting and 36.8% from three. Jalen Suggs adds 16.9 points and 5.2 assists, hitting 32.2% from beyond the arc and converting 84.3% at the line. The Magic shoot 34.0% from three, 79.7% on free throws, collect 43.5 rebounds, hand out 26.3 assists, and turn it over 13.5 times per game. Defensively, Milwaukee produces 7.4 steals and 4.1 blocks per game. Miles Turner anchors the interior with 1.6 blocks nightly, while Rollins contributes 1.5 steals. Orlando is more disruptive, 8.5 steals and 5.2 blocks per contest. Suggs averages 1.8 steals, and Goga Bitadze adds 1.2 blocks, giving the Magic length and activity at the rim. This matchup centers on interior dominance versus perimeter disruption. Milwaukee thrives on efficiency inside, powered by Giannis's paint pressure and 66.6% two-point shooting. Orlando thrives on collective length, rebounding strength, and defensive activity. Strength versus strength, physical force against positional depth. Recent form sharpens the tension. Milwaukee has split its last 5, including a 141-137 overtime win over New Orleans and a 131-115 win against Chicago. but losses to Boston and Washington exposed late-game defensive lapses. They're scoring, but they're leaking. Orlando has won 3 of its last 5. A 130-120 victory over Toronto showcased offensive rhythm, and wins over Brooklyn and Utah reinforced their home confidence. The 128-92 loss to Oklahoma City was a reminder of volatility, but the Magic have largely tightened defensively and rebounded with authority. Giannis brings power and precision. He's shooting 64.5% from the floor, finishing through contact, controlling the glass, and initiating offense in transition. Even with his calf concern listed, his per-minute impact remains overwhelming, 28 points in just under 30 minutes per night. Banchero answers with versatility. At 21.7 points and 8.5 boards, he stretches the defense, attacks mismatches, and operates from the mid-post. Franz Wagner's 22.2 points on 48.2% shooting add another scoring dimension, and Suggs's playmaking steadies the backcourt. Orlando's trio plays with rhythm and balance. Milwaukee leans on dominance and force. Tactically, Orlando's edge lies in rebounding margin and defensive activity. They average 43.5 boards to Milwaukee's 41.0 and generate more steals and blocks. If they win the turnover battle and keep Giannis in traffic, they control tempo. Milwaukee must dictate inside-out offense. When their three-point shooting, nearly 40% as a team, spaces the floor, Giannis becomes unstoppable downhill. If Turner protects the rim and Rollins pressures passing lanes, the Bucks can tilt the game into transition, where they are most dangerous. Bench depth and late-game composure will matter. Orlando's balance provides scoring waves. Milwaukee's success hinges on efficiency and minimizing defensive breakdowns. Watch the fourth quarter. Ball security and defensive rotations will decide it. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Orlando Magic winner. At home, with superior defensive activity and rebounding control, the Magic's balance and perimeter disruption give them the edge. Milwaukee will score, they always do, but Orlando's length, depth, and home rhythm should close it out. In a tight Eastern Conference race, the Magic protect their floor and take another step forward. My second pick for this match is total over 215.5. Sacramento Kings versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Kings walk into New Orleans at 12-42, 15th in the Western Conference, staring at a 13-game road skid and the weight of a season that has spiraled. The Pelicans sit at 14-40, 14th in the West, only a breath ahead in the standings, but favored heavily at home. The numbers tilt sharply toward New Orleans, roughly a 70% edge, and for Sacramento, this isn't just another February night. It's a fight to stop the bleeding. For the Pelicans, it's a chance to create separation and protect their floor at Smoothie King Center. Sacramento averages 110.8 points per game, shooting 47% from the field. They hand out 25.1 assists and pull down 41.1 rebounds, but turnovers, 13.9 per game, and defensive leaks have defined their struggles. They allow 120.6 points a night, nearly 10 more than they score. The Kings do generate 8.2 steals and 4.5 blocks, showing flashes of activity, yet consistency has been elusive. New Orleans scores more efficiently at 114.6 points per game while hitting 46% from the floor. They rebound better, 43.6 per game, defend with 8.9 steals and 4.7 blocks, and match Sacramento in assists at 24.9. Defensively, though, they surrender 120.9 points per contest, nearly identical to the Kings. This is not a defensive showcase on paper. It's a battle of who can execute offensively with greater discipline. Zach LaVine leads Sacramento with 19.2 points per game on 47.9% shooting, hitting 39% from three and 88% at the line. DeMar DeRozan adds 18.9 points on 50.1% shooting, while Domantas Sabonis anchors the interior with 15.8 points and 11.4 rebounds, shooting 54.3%. Russell Westbrook brings pace and edge, 15.3 points and 6.7 assists, but also volatility. For New Orleans, Trey Murphy III headlines with 22.2 points per game, knocking down 47.6% from the floor and 37.8% from deep, plus nearly 90% at the stripe. Zion Williamson adds 21.6 points on 58.1% shooting, a relentless downhill force. Saddiq Bey chips in 16.7, and center Derek Queen supplies 7.3 rebounds and 4.3 assists, anchoring the interior playmaking. The defining theme, New Orleans' scoring punch and rebounding edge against Sacramento's need for ball control and half-court execution. Recent form sharpens the tension. The Kings have dropped 4 of their last 5. Losses to Cleveland, the Clippers, Memphis, and Washington, surrendering 125, 144, 129, and 116 points in those defeats. Only a narrow win over Boston interrupts the slide. Defensive breakdowns, especially in transition, have haunted them. The Pelicans, meanwhile, are 3-2 in their last 5. They handled Minnesota and Charlotte convincingly, edged Milwaukee, but stumbled against Philadelphia and Dallas. The offense has popped in wins, 119, 141, and 114 points, with Murphy and Williamson dictating tempo. When they shoot efficiently, they control the rhythm. The centerpiece matchup is Murphy versus Levine, precision shot-making against athletic scoring flair. Levine's 39% from 3 and 88% free throw mark make him Sacramento's cleanest offensive weapon. Murphy, more physical and slightly more complete statistically, adds rebounding and defensive activity with 1.5 steals per game. Zion's interior pressure against Sabonis could tilt the paint battle. Williamson's 58% efficiency is punishing, but Sabonis's 11.4 boards per game demand second-chance opportunities. Tactically, Sacramento must limit live ball turnovers and slow the pace. Westbrook's playmaking is critical, 6.7 assists, but shot selection matters. If the Kings can funnel Zion into help and force New Orleans into perimeter jumpers, they have a path. For the Pelicans, it's about controlling the glass and attacking early. Their plus 2.5 rebound advantage per game looms large. Murphy spacing the floor, Zion collapsing the defense, and Queen facilitating from the high post creates balance. Defensively, containing dribble penetration and rotating cleanly to shooters will determine whether Sacramento finds rhythm. The X factor is efficiency under pressure. Both teams give up over 120 per night. Whoever tightens late, fewer turnovers, stronger rebounding, sharper shot selection, wins. At home, with the more dynamic scoring duo and a slight edge on the glass, New Orleans holds the advantage. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is New Orleans Pelicans winner. New Orleans' balance and interior force proved decisive, snapping Sacramento's road woes for at least one more night and reinforcing their edge in a matchup defined by execution over explosiveness. My second pick for this match is total over 230.5, Memphis Grizzlies versus Golden State Warriors. The lights are on at Chase Center, and the stakes are layered. Golden State enters at 28-25, sitting third in the Pacific Division and fighting to solidify its position in a crowded Western Conference race. Memphis arrives at 20-31, third in the Southwest, trying to stabilize a season that has drifted below .500, but still carries long-term implications in a tightening playoff picture. Golden State holds the statistical edge coming in, with a 59% win probability and a narrow scoring advantage on the year. The Warriors average 115.6 points per game to Memphis's 115.3, but they defend more cleanly, allowing just 113.5 per night compared to the Grizzlies' 117.5. On paper, it's close. In context, it's urgency versus opportunity. A home team trying to rise and a road team trying to rediscover itself. Memphis plays with balance offensively. They shoot 46% from the field, Match Golden State's 46% and distribute 28.7 assists per game. They rebound better, pulling down 45.5 boards to the Warriors' 42.6, and protect the rim with 5.1 blocks per game. But the Grizzlies' turnover number, 14.8 per night, has hurt them in key stretches, especially when games speed up. Golden State thrives in rhythm. The Warriors also post 28.7 assists per game, but their defensive activity stands out. 10.0 steals per contest compared to Memphis's 8.0. They block 4.5 shots per night and turn defense into transition offense quickly. From three, Golden State spaces the floor effectively, and their ball movement often dictates tempo. Offensively, Memphis leans on Jaren Jackson Jr., who leads the team with 19.2 points and adds 5.8 rebounds while shooting 47.5% from the field and 35.9% from three. Santi Aldama contributes 14.0 points and 6.7 rebounds. And Cam Spencer adds 12.0 points with 2.2 made threes per game at 46% from deep. Jackson also anchors defensively with 1.5 blocks and 1.0 steals per game, the interior tone setter. Golden State is led by Stephen Curry, averaging 27.2 points on 46.8% shooting, 39.1% from three, and 93.1% at the line, along with 4.8 assists. Jimmy Butler III adds 20.0 points and 5.6 rebounds, while Draymond Green chips in 5.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds, a steal per game, and anchors their defensive switching. The defining theme, Memphis's rebounding and rim protection versus Golden State's perimeter creation and defensive disruption. Inside presence against outside precision. Recent form tells a complicated story. Memphis has dropped 3 of its last 5, including back-to-back losses to Portland, 122-115 and 135-115, before a 129-125 win over Sacramento. Defensive lapses have cost them 122, 135, and 131 points allowed in recent defeats. The offense remains capable, but stops have been inconsistent. Golden State has dropped 3 of its last 4, including losses to the Lakers, 105-99, and Philadelphia, 113-94. The lone highlight was a 140-124 win over Utah. When their shooting cools, their margin for error tightens quickly. The key matchup is Jaren Jackson Jr. versus Stephen Curry, interior presence against perimeter precision. Jackson brings 19.2 points and 1.5 blocks, impacting both ends with efficient scoring and rim protection. Curry counters with 27.2 per game, shooting 39.1% from three and 93.1% at the line, making him deadly late. If Curry controls tempo and spacing, Golden State gains the edge. If Jackson owns the paint and limits second chances, Memphis can impose its physical style. Watch the turnover battle. Memphis averages 14.8 per game, and Golden State forces 10 steals a night. Live ball turnovers could fuel transition threes. Memphis also needs to use its plus 2.9 rebounding edge to create extra possessions and counter Golden State's perimeter shooting. Golden State's switching defense will test Memphis's secondary creators. Draymond Green's communication and versatility allow them to close gaps quickly. But if the Grizzlies establish inside-out rhythm and keep the game in the half court, they can neutralize tempo. Bench depth and late-game composure favor the home side. Curry's shot creation in tight windows and Butler's downhill pressure give Golden State reliable closing options. Memphis needs defensive discipline in the final 5 minutes, no unnecessary fouls, no rushed possessions. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Golden State Warriors winner. Golden State's defensive activity and perimeter shot making should create the separation. Expect Memphis to compete on the glass and inside, But in a game defined by spacing and late execution, Curry's control and the Warriors' turnover pressure become the deciding edge. My second pick for this match is total over 223.5. Philadelphia 76ers versus Portland Trail Blazers. Philadelphia arrives at 30-22, sixth in the Eastern Conference, holding position but with little margin to relax. Portland stands 25-28, ninth in the Western Conference, hovering around the playoff line and fighting to stay in the picture. The numbers give Philadelphia a slight edge, just over a 56% win probability. But the separation is thin. This is a cross-conference matchup with postseason implications on both coasts. Philadelphia averages 116.7 points per game, slightly ahead of Portland's 115.8. The 76ers shoot 46% from the field, 38.2% from three through Tyrese Maxey's volume shooting, and an efficient 88.8% from the line. Portland shoots 45% overall, 35.6% from deep through Deni Avdija, and 80% at the stripe from its leading scorer. The numbers are close, but the details separate them. The Sixers allow 115.1 points per game. Portland gives up 118.0. That defensive gap matters. Philadelphia moves the ball at 24.9 assists per game and protects the rim with 5.6 blocks and 9.0 steals. Portland distributes 24.5 assists, rebounds better at 45.8 per game, and averages 8.1 steals with 4.8 blocks. Turnovers tilt slightly toward Philadelphia, 13.2 per game compared to Portland's 16.3, another subtle edge in game control. Tyrese Maxey drives the Sixers' offense with 28.8 points and 6.9 assists per game, shooting 47% from the field, 38.2% from three on high volume, and nearly 89% at the line. Joel Embiid adds 26.8 points and 7.5 rebounds in 31 games, anchoring the interior with 1.1 blocks. Andre Drummond controls the glass at 8.8 rebounds per night, while Maxey contributes 2.0 steals defensively. For Portland, Deni Avdija leads with 25.5 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 6.7 assists, shooting 46.7% from the field and 35.6% from three. Shaedon Sharpe brings 21.4 points and 1.4 steals. Donovan Clingan dominates the boards at 11.5 rebounds with 1.3 blocks, and Robert Williams III adds 1.4 blocks in limited games. This is a Blazers team that leans into size and secondary playmaking. The defining theme: Philadelphia's offensive efficiency and ball security versus Portland's rebounding strength and interior presence. Clean execution against physical pressure. Philadelphia has won 4 of its last 5. Victories over Phoenix, 109-103, Golden State, 113-94, the Clippers, 128-113, and New Orleans, 124-114. The lone loss was a tight 6-point game at the Lakers. Their scoring, spacing, and closing. Portland is 2-3 over its last 5. A 122-115 win over Memphis and a 127-97 rout of New York show their ceiling. But losses to Memphis, 115-115 listed as a defeat, Phoenix, 130-125, and Cleveland, 130-111, reveal defensive instability. When their offense hums, they're dangerous. When it stalls, the margin disappears quickly. Maxey versus Avdija, precision versus versatility. Maxey attacks with pace, pulling up from deep or slicing into mid-range space. His 10.1 field goals per game and 3.4 threes made show a scorer in rhythm. Avdija counters with balance. 7.8 field goals, 2.3 threes, 7.8 free throws made per game, and the ability to facilitate at 6.7 assists. He rebounds, initiates, and absorbs contact. If Maxey controls tempo, Philadelphia dictates terms. If Avdija turns it into a physical half-court grind, Portland's front court can impose itself. Tactically, watch the paint and the glass. Klingen's 11.5 rebounds per game versus Embiid and Drummond is critical. Extra possessions fuel Portland's offense, but Philadelphia's ability to limit turnovers and convert efficiently, especially from three, stretches Portland's defense. The Sixers' 5.6 blocks and aggressive perimeter defense can disrupt driving lanes, while Portland's higher turnover rate leaves them vulnerable in transition. Bench production and late-game execution favor Philadelphia's recent rhythm. Portland must defend without fouling and avoid empty possessions. The X factor, three-point variance. If Portland's shooters match Maxi's efficiency, the math shifts. If not, the possession battle becomes decisive. After analyzing both teams, my first pick for this match is Philadelphia 76ers winner. The difference comes down to efficiency and control. Philadelphia protects the ball, converts from deep, and capitalizes on Portland's defensive lapses just enough to hold the edge. In a competitive physical contest, the Sixers' balance and late-game shot creation prove decisive. Philadelphia steadies its place in the East. Portland keeps fighting, but comes up a possession short. My second pick for this match is total over 228.5.